EcoShine Project. The inspiring youngsters warmly welcome you to the official launch of the EcoShine Project, solar cooking, agroscience for empowering women and youth implementation with the support of the government of Canada through the Canadian Fund for Local Initiatives. The ceremony begins together, stakeholders to mark the formal start of a 9-month initiative that will establish agro-solar hubs in 6 secondary schools, distribute clean energy systems, and build lasting green skills across 3 regions in the Gambia. Starting the program, I'd love to call on to Abubakar Mbo to lead us in the Muslim prayers, please.
سبحان من خزائنه بين الكاف والنون اللهم يا مفرج الهموم فرج عني وقضي حاجتي اللهم يا مسخر الفيل وفارق البحر لبني إسرائيل سخر لي ما أريد إنك فعال لما يريد وبحق سورة الياسين وبحق القرآن الكريم أقسم بالله وقل جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا أقسم عليك يا معصر الرهق يا رضوان ملك المعيد سبحان منفس لكل مهزون سبحان مفرج لكل مديون سبحان ربك رب العزة ما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Father God, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for everything that you have done in our life and making this launching a successful one. Father, we pray as we are here, we will hold this section as it is should be. And may we, after the program, we reach home in our safety, in safe. We ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Much for that. And with pleasure, I would love to call on Anna Wanjai to give us a welcoming remark.
That, Madam MC. And once again, I would like to welcome you all. Good morning, high table, student leaders from our chapters, women, our mothers that are here from the Women CAFO, the Inspire Youngsters Executive, the STEM Enterprise team that are here with us today. Thank you all for being with us today. So it is an honor to warmly welcome you all to the official launch, of the EcoShine Project, an initiative by Inspiring Youngsters, proudly funded by the Canadian Fund for Local Initiatives, with the support from our technical team, which is the STEM Enterprise. The EcoShine Project is designed to empower women and young people by promoting renewable energy, climate-smart agriculture, environmental stewardship, and sustainable livelihoods. Through this initiative, communities will benefit from practical training, access to clean energy solutions, and opportunities to develop skills that improve agricultural productivity, create green jobs, and strengthen climate resilience. Today's launch marks the beginning of a journey towards building more sustainable and self-reliant communities. It reflects our shared commitment to empowering women and youth with the knowledge, tools, and opportunities they need to become drivers of innovation and positive change. On the behalf of the Inspire Youngsters, I extend our sincere appreciation to the Government of Canada through the Canada Fund of Local Initiative for believing in this vision and supporting its implementation. We also thank our technical partner, which is STEM Enterprise, our IYS executives, our stakeholders, and the Gambian government. We also thank our school chapters. Of course, without you people, we would not be able to go forward with this project. Also for your support and commitment. Together, let us make the EcoShine Project a catalyst for sustainable development, environment protection, and community empowerment. Thank you all.
Anna Wanjai, that was amazing. As we proceed, I would love to call on Mr. Alajang Dao to give an overview of what the EcoShine Project is about.
Representatives from various chapters and across the region. And of course, good morning to Honorable Sedikan. Sedikan from the National Journalism Association. So he's the Secretary General. Welcome, sir. Unfortunately, Kurubali from the Ministry of Education should have been here with us. But again, he just informed me that they have a national convergence at the regional office. So he's attending that one, and he might potentially be there or might not. So it's a bit, but he's in picture of what we're doing. Um, the women couples from the community of Abuko Willingara and student leaders. It's a great pleasure to have each and every one of you here today. The EcoShine Project um, is a women empowerment agro-solar initiative that is geared to support education and development. The EcoShine Project is being pioneered by the Inspiring Youngsters organization as the main implementing body. And it is supported by the Canada Fund for Local Initiatives through the embassy in Dakar with a total grant of 40,000 Canadian dollars, which is equivalent to about $2 million. And the project will run across 3 regions. That is in the Greater Banjul area, the West Coast, KMC, and in the North Bank. In these regions, we will be working with women, 3 women couples in the Kanifing area, where we will have the women from the Abuko Willingara community and Ol Yundum, as well as the schools, including Nusrat Senior Secondary School, Charles Jau Memorial Academy, Nemakunku Senior Secondary School, and of course, St. Peter's as well. Do we have Masroot here? So we have 6 secondary schools, and in the North Bank we have Farafenye as well. And the project will run across phases, and with the presentations I will come to that. But just to give a little bit of light about the project before others will come. Hadi. So the presentation will be more in details to ensure that those sitting at the forefront might be able to sift so that they can see everything. I think that would be more appropriate. But just to give you a general background about the project. Yeah, and the idea is to establish agro solar hubs in these secondary schools. What we mean by agro solar hub is agriculture and renewable energy. Schools that already have gardens, so we will work with the school administrations and the teacher coordinators to revamp those ones with a very modern horticultural programs as well. So for the women couples, the intention is to be able to train them in income generating programs and supply them with renewable energy resources. So that will include solar ovens and solar dryers as well. But then again, to give them all the resources necessary to support them to be able to make added value horticultural products. Yes. And then by the end of the project also, some entrepreneurs who are youths are working in that area will be also supported with the same devices and the train as well. So this is a whole lot around the project, just to give a summary.
suma jooyee ñu ne ma isa bari xanaa tur mbalit si yoon bi leen dee sàppi kon dëkk lool ma wax la ne I am the environment vital for development. Without me, no development. So tell your government to change that agreement for this environment. It's our settlement, so free me. See, indiscriminate dumping forms a gas called the methane gas, and this gas is one of the greenhouse gases which is very deadly for my people, so free me. For waste, contaminates freshwater sources, affects the well-being of the soil, causes pollution. So rise up, let's find a solution. And even though recycling sites are always unhygienic and unsafe, we can locate them in a strategic location. Let's recycle the waste to avoid destruction as it prevents water and air pollution. See, this is not a test, but we have a responsibility to serve people of the waste, so stop burning waste, especially during the daytime, for this has health implications. See, your actions have made a poor man hopeless. People of my region homeless. Don't you know that throwing grass in gutters block waterways, and when heavy rains come, it eventually lead to flooding? So do not litter on the street nor in public places. For according to the anti-littering, and a person who commits this offense is liable and conviction to a fine of no less than $1,000. Kon yéen environmental activists yi jóg leen ñu jàngal suñu yaay yi ak suñu baay yi. Let's educate our people on the health implications related to waste. For I am with the conviction that when our environmental and anti-littering laws are enforced, the waste will be disposed properly. So rise up, let's manage our waste accordingly. Do not fear to take action, even if it is slowly. Be the advocate, let's advocate politely. Let's speak and take the hard gently. It may be hard, but together we can eliminate waste successfully.
All have it together. And a clean environment is a healthy life. So this is not just about the government. It is about us all. And we have to work together to make sure that our environment is clean. Let's say no to waste. And let's also work together to keep our trashes aside. Yeah? So I would call on to Obama the point.
Good morning, everyone. I am Mohamed Salihwa, better known as Obama the Poet, and I am here today to recite a poem. And the title of my poem is Peace and Unity. So here the poem reads. An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. So give us 111. Let's call you and customer care 101 and tell them that the world needs peace. So if 133 is not creating our security, then we dial star 303 hash and get sufficient data spread unity. So X will not fight with Y, A and B will be friends, and you and I shall become the very foundation of this. It doesn't matter being in your teens, 14 or 15, even if the ages are 40, 50, 60, there's one common goal, and that is unity. One world, one dream, one glory. So peace. Si adna sin tollu ni den mënuta xam ak xamne suñuy xarit ak suñuy àndandoor buñ ma xeccee maa ngi woon di sentu yi di ma yóbbu ma di leen topp ba ma ñàkk gis lu ma doon sentu su la ma sama xel bi jox boo demee ba nga réer da nga war a dellu fi nga jógee. I now begin to think twice my life is in danger. Kon nag bari ma leen koy nëbb fii laa leen koy waxee. In this world we are living in now, the societies, the nations, and the world at large, I can no longer tell because souls are now to be sold. If you are powerless, you are now living in a cell. I have no right, so there's nothing I can tell, keeping us so tight like a nucleus in a living cell. But bear this in mind, I am human like you, so do not pray for me to go to hell where my body will constantly get melt. So xamut da ngay lacc ñu xam loola ngir yow mi xamutoon ba nga lacc ñu xam loola di nga mën a xam loo ñu xamutoon te bëggoon a xam te mënuñu xam. In this world we are living in now. Did it check in on the poll? If it is a question, then I will say no. I am not guessing, but I am pretty sure because we are watching the movements every day like a TV show. So if there is to be more being geographically located on this earth, we should just have record. This is not a repeated mission. Then let us not throw away the ball. Score 100 of pretense in this world, and it will be marked as 0. Our Creator is the all-knowing and all-aware. I don't know why we choose to be blind, getting into the direction which is not right. How can we now differentiate the good and the evil? What can I do to recognize the enemies and friends? When shall we leave the dark for the light? When shall we choose the right over the bright? I ask many times because I'm seeing so many signs that testify and visualize the evils in our heart. Are we now in for the struggle, a battle? You need a bottle of water to quench your thirst. They say you need to hustle. I thank you all.
Please. Before we proceed to the PowerPoint presentation, we would love to have you guys in the front set so you would be able to see what the presentation is about.
Produce solar ovens and solar dryers. So these are the resources that we utilize to cook and bake and dry and produce these stuffs in using the sun energy. So for those of us who really are within the IYS, they are, whether you are part of supporting the students in one way or the other, you are teaching, and also you are a teacher coordinator, or you are assisting the students, and you are a member, or you are from the community, to know who is behind this project is the Inspiring Youngsters. So who are the Inspiring Youngsters? Inspiring Youngsters is a registered non-profit organization in the Gambia that is dedicated in empowering young people through education, service, and community transformations. In this light, Inspiring Youngsters also work with women and youths to ensure that they are also supported in terms of livelihood programs. And through its create a model called the Inspire model. And the Inspire model is driven from the word inspiring youngsters. That first letter, Inspire, is crafted to create a model that will suit the organization and also represent its programs. And through these programs, we created what we call the ABCD, that is the asset-based community development. So this project falls into that. And the approach that we use is to build on existing community strengths to promote locally led solutions in education, environmental sustainability, peace building, as well as innovation. Yeah. These programs is also implemented in schools, communities, and also at the IYS Sustainability Center, where programs will be run. And Inspiring Youngsters moo nekk pour ñu xam ko ban lan la Inspiring Youngsters moo nekk organisation boo xam ne nii register la fii si Gambia. It started at the Abuko community, then mu spread out under the sun. So lu ma la wax rek MRC Holland bu ñu defee gëstu yooyu dañ gis ne jigéen yu bari de seen xale yi dañ dooroon di am dañ dee xesen trop because of saxaar bi ak yooyu. So through that investigation, gars yi ñu create a programme pour ñu mun a utilize naaj bi tuuti, not pour génnee tooga because boobu is pour di nga ko mun a pour mata ak këriñ non, but pour ñu wane ne mun nañoo wàññi sometimes soo ñëwee pour tàngal ndox rek mun nga koo teg si naaj bi rek si oven si rek nga dem sa yoon nga bàyyi ko si naaj bi mu tàngal wala mu toogal la ak yooyu. So si démonstration boobu moom mun nañoo tooga benn cin xam nga yaasa ganaar ak yooyu. So loolu la doon firnde ñoom si seen investigation boobu. So beneen nataal yi nga gis ni yaa gis students yi ñu ngi liggéey agriculture ak yooyu. So these are some of the things moom la ñu indiwaat si school bi. So gis na ñu gën koo improve already what is existing in the schools, but also jigéen ñi tamit ñu train leen ak yooyu. So already some of the women that are here, part of their communities have already started doing some of those things. So the ones that are here today, they are also being introduced into that. So the challenge we are trying to address, what is the pain we want to contribute to? And one thing is health issues. So which I just spoke about, smoke that people are exposed to, especially those that are the primary cooks close to the kitchen every day, that is the women and the children. Even putangal ndox sa danga wara tal keriñ wala mat. So those are some of the things with the health aspect. The livelihood areas also, the cost of fuel. How do we bring programs to reduce this? In education, so we know that many schools lack practical environmental science activities in the schools. So as a result, we are trying to see how do we also contribute towards that challenge. Energy access. So if you look at the Gambia, it's almost, we are using 80% of the population, households are using firewood every day or charcoal. Yeah? So environmental wise, a lot of deforestation is happening around. How do we reduce it? We can't finish it, but these are the challenges that we want to contribute to our quarter. So how do we respond to this? So our response is through solar technologies, the solar cookings and the solar drying technologies, environmental STEM education, youth innovation and leadership, women empowerment, and agro-solar hubs. So these are the agricultural programs, the cooking, the environmental STEM education, and also youth and women empowerment. Yeah. So yi mo nekk yoo xam ne ñun problème su nekk si gox bi si dëkk bi yu ñu identify si projet bi moo nekk health moo nekk wérgu yaram saxaar su si exposé trop nga si am jafe-jafe. Livelihood, because cost of firewood dafa seer léegi, ak yooyu noonu so naka lañ ko wàññee not mënuñ koo complete pour li projet bi mënu koo complete dañ nangu nañ loolu waaye naka la ñoo indee lu ees yoo xam ne nit ñi ëllëg na tax soo waroon a use këriñ every day 500 every month 500 naka xëy na di nga ko mën a use every month 300 so that ñu reduce ko soo xoolee environment bi tamit the same thing every day garab yaa ngee dox ak yooyu noonu su nekkee ne sax yow benn fan lakkaloo këriñ xëy na boobu dina tane waaye every day yaa ngi lakka këriñ every day yaa ngi lakka këriñ so yëpp ngay jógee si forest bi in the long run what we consume all is coming from the forest so those are some of the issues problems yi nga xam ne moom lañ identify so loolu suñ solution si naka la moo nekk ne ñu indi solar cookers nga xam ne naaj bi ni nga ko mën a use mu toogal ñu mu defaral ñu cake wala mu defaral ñu mburu ak yooyu noonu dañ mën a create garden si school si so tamit nga gis ne school yi am nañ garden waaye garden ñun léegi naka la ñuy wootee ak school si ñu gën koo revamp garden yi mu gën a student yi dañ ko gën a ñemeñ pour use ko so that is our aim so ñu work ak jigéen yi seen groupe yi tamit su ko defee ñoom tamit dañ gën a mën a yëngu si community development so these are some of the challenges and also the response. The theory of change. What is our logic behind this? If we solve this problem, what will be the next? So if we establish the agro-solar hubs and we also provide solar technologies, we train students and collaborate with schools and teachers, we support women and also promote climate smart agriculture, then we will be able to increase skills, we will be also able to increase the adoption of clean cooking activities, and then also there will be increase in terms of food production and improvement also in terms of income generating activities. So then this will lead to empowering women, empowering youth and communities. So, and also it will help also to mitigate climate resilience as well. So we want to come sooner suñ logic bi suñ defee lii lan mooy happen so su nekkee ne for example defar work nañ with the schools ñu create gardens and tamit ñu create so introduce solar yi si community bi ba pare tamit ñu train youth si ñu liggéey ak jigéen ñi then da ngaa gis ne tuuti income dina mën a ñëw at the same time also dinañ am access pour ñu mën a use bagage yoo xam ne ni duñ nit pour ñu tooga lu ndaw waaw soo am su naaju amee rek nañ ko mën a use boobu tamit dina increase kenn da ngaa gis ne income tamit dina mën a am tuuti koppar dina mën a am so loolu yëpp su amee lii lan la moo firnde moo nekk ne jigéen yi nañ leen jox opportunity pour ñoom it da ngaa gis ne youth si tamit the same thing te da ngaa gis ne climate change nga xam ne jafe-jafe yu nekk si jaww ji su nekkee ne dem na indi loolu noonu ba ñëpp ñu xam ko loolu dina wàññeeku so loolu la moo firnde xarit so the purpose of what we are doing in this project is aims to improve health outcomes, food security, environment, and climate resilience in our country. We have numbers in terms of the number of schools that are identified, that is 6 secondary schools, and within 50 solar ovens and dryers will be produced, and this will be distributed in the solar hubs, but also it will also be distributed in the women cafes and also the youth entrepreneurs that are involved into that. And 12 hydroponic systems. This will be more of producing water in plant, how to call it, gardening using only plants. For example, you will be producing, you'll be using that system to plant lettuce, and it will grow inside, and it's other vegetables as well. That will combine micro garden tables as well. And also, we will also have 30 micro garden tables, planters that will be also distributed across the hubs. So each school will have 2 set systems, and then 4 of each. So that will be distributed as part of the garden program. And also the women also are among the 50 equipments, we will also the dryers and the cookers we will also give them those ones also to carry on in their communities. So that is a breakdown of it. So we are involved. So si project bi am nañ si 6 schools yoo xam ne ñoom ñooy participate moo nekk schools yi nga xam ne ñu ngi teewee fii so tamit am nañ 50 ovens and dryers yu ñoo war a produce boobu dañ ko distribute si schools yi ak also si community bi ñi nga xam ne ni jigéen ñi nga xam ne ni bokk nañ si project bi ñoom tamit leen naa jox si boobu noonu ak dina am ay benn use yi nga xam ne ni they are doing agric business, they are making tea, they are selling it, but they struggles to have to preserve resources, to be able to dry them and to preserve them. So we will give them those equipments as well. Hydroponic bi so da nga gis ne boobu moom affaire garden put plants ci ndox naka la ñoo jiyee garab salade wala liñoŋ wala tomate te niduloo sa soil. So we will also have that system as well in place. The micro garden table naka nga defaree si table bi nga plant foofu noonu. So in case tomorrow you don't have a land, you can even do agriculture. So the micro gardening and the hydroponic will support us into that, and it's a very good science and technological STEM programs to come to the schools as well. Next. So the Inspire model is driven by the ABCD. So the ABCD, so if we say A is the asset base, the B is the behavior. You know, most of the times people say, hey, naaj bi toga, loolu possible. Not talk in most of the time. But that is because we don't know so behavior. So how do we train people to understand, to test, to have a taste of that, to say, oh wow, it's possible. So those are some of the things. How do we make bread, cake, and the likes? And even at the school level or at the community level, you can still use these things to sell among the students so that you can generate income as well. That is the behavior as well. So for the capacity is naka la ñoo trainer nit ñi pour ñu am capacity ñu mën a def bagage yi nii ñu ko mën a defaral seen bopp. So that is the capacity aspect. To look at the level and then the leadership, the entrepreneurship level and everything. So development aspect bi moo nekk ne in the long term practical agriculture naka la ñoo make sure that we have put that at the top level. So that is the ABCD. So this will be followed by a monitoring system where we will have a baseline. And then we will also have attendance list. We will make sure we get this attendance list regularly to make sure that we are also following project rules and regulations. Beneficiary feedbacks. We will have direct beneficiary feedback, or maybe you have a feedback system that we ensure that if you don't want to be identifying yourself, you can give a feedback for the project to say, okay, ñun de li ngeen ñu promission li ngeen waxoon ne dañ ko indi so da ngeen def corruption so lii ak lii amut. So we will also do that one so that we want to Alaaji moo wax li wala Fatou moo wax li. So as also if you also see there is a progress on the project, so throughout the project this will happen. Yeah, that will be the reflection and the feedback. Some training assessments will also be done. And then site monitoring will be also conducted, and also there will be an evaluation and also consolidation at the end of the project. So with the monitoring, all the registration process that we are doing today is part of that monitoring. So the monitoring team, we have the male team here, so they are passing on registration for people to fill. Please fill them, that will help, because each of us has an accountability part. So that part is also important. So if you don't register here, put your name on then they will not be able to pay you your transport allowances. So that is part. And then at the end of the day, they will hold us accountable. You're gonna Fatou Lamin ak Kumba guy ñëwoon nañ ci event bi, so fay nga leen. Waaye gisuñ ko ci registration bi kon da nga mel ni yéen loolu wax du dëgg, so da ngeen di fay xaalis bi. So we are also accountable for that. So that is why we will have to document environmental care. So activities are assigned for environmental effective. So if you look at all the activities we are doing, they are very environmental conscious. They are good for the environment. So, for example, the solar ovens and dryers, they rely on the sun energy to do. So there is not much around plastics, around pollutions, around that. So that is one aspect. But also, again, the agricultural part and the income generating programs is all very sustainable. So environment part lu ma leen wax rek moo nekk ne soo xoolee si programme bi pour environment bi suñu jaww ji naka lañ ko defuñ ci lim loo xam ne nii dafa indi problèmes comme plastique la moo nekk pour ay saxaar ak yooyu non mais lu moo def rek moo nekk ne naka la ñu use natural resources bi pour ñu def dara so ndax dafa nekk defar lekka yoo xam ne nii wala products yoo xam ne nii soo ko jaayee na nekk problème si environment so loolu yëpp dafa nekk loo xam ne ni projet bi daf ko xoolaat bu baax lu ma leen wax moo nekk affaire safeguarding ak accountability so accountability bi aspect bi the project has money that is given for example tey su nekkee ne tey dañu wax ne ku nekk sa transport bi soo ñëwee dañ la jox 200 si paper bi léegi participants ñu ñëw ñu ne leen you know what please the project we also want to keep some money for the future so kala ñu ngeen sànni jox leen 200 from 200 ñu jox leen 200 bi waaye bu leen def waaye def dañ leen jox $100 ñu téye 100 that should not be so it has to be accountable for so that is important su nekkee lekka la tamit fu ñoo order lekka su nekkee project bi daf ne 300 moo nekk añ pour kenn ku nekk we have to make sure that the restaurants that we are working with we give you that quality of food that will meet that standard so nekkee ne dafa nekk 500 so da ngaa gis ne it will give us the opportunity to also go for a bigger restaurant that will give us a bigger food possibility and stuff so that is the accountability part of the project. Yeah. So safeguarding bi lu ma leen wax rek boobu moom moo nekk yeneen issues yu happen during the course ndax am na ay ndaw yu fa nekk ndax li fi gaañu neñ kan moo leen war a toppatoo su dara après su ñëwee si project bi kenn mu bulli leen ak yooyu naka la ñoo safeguardé loolu wala ndax bagage yi ngeen a defar sax ndax baax nañ enough because soo jëlee daaj nga toog ko nii da nga bàyyi ko noonu kenn mun na koo gaañ so all these things are things lu ma doon wax si safeguarding. After today. So from today on, what is the project going to do from today on? So from today, well, the next step will be site visit and identification. So from today, we're visiting the sites, the school sites. We work with the teacher coordinators, we work with the school administration and the student leaders to identify their garden. If they don't have a garden, they can identify a space where we can start installing. So from today on, that's what we will be involved in. And the other will be equipment production. So the team now from today on will have to now, Enterprise will have to now look into procurement of resources to build them because 50 is a lot of equipment to build. So that by the time school opens and we start doing these things, we know that it will reach out to the school on time. So that by first term, we can start gradually making these things happen in the sites. Project monitoring and learning. What is happening? Sometimes you will be doing these things and it's not working very well. So what do we have to learn from this one and improve? For example, if we go to Sarafanya school, how they will do their own agro hub might be different from how Nusrat will do it. Because maybe Sarafanya, they have a big land and they want to utilize the whole land for the garden. So how do we work with them to ensure that we kind of give that space? But if it is Nusrat, for example, they have a story building on top, and that's where they want to do the garden, for example. And how do we work with Nusrat to make sure that we kind of like create that garden on top of the roof and ensure that they are able to plant and they are able to also do their stuffs. So these are some of the things that with monitoring aspect. Yeah. So now comme project si so léegi Nusrat lu fa nekk ak Farafenni lu fa nekk mun naa nekk benn dama compare rek so léegi nga Farafenni ñoom dañu am suuf so mun nañu utiliser si suuf bi mun nañu am hydroponic système bi tamit so ñu install ko waaye su ñëwee Nusrat for exemple wala Masrur gaa ñi ngi am ay taax rek amuñ space naka la ñoo mën a liggéeyee ñoom ba léegi agro hub ndax dañu am rooftop boo xam ne nii mun nañoo dem foofu noonu ñu install fa garden create ko in a way that garden nañ fa mun a plant is that possible? Yes. How do we learn and how do we adopt that one? So that is something that we will need to also focus na lolu amna fo. So lolu la don try for baseline data. So we also want to know once we are visiting the school site. For example, in the what asset is available? The land is there, the garden is there is beds there. Do they have all the things that the project is going to bring? Yes. Then why should we bring it? Can we bring it to another school? If it is available. If this is not available, then also those data is also helping us to inform us as well. teacher and students training. So we will also involve the students and the teachers in the training, but there will be also training only for the teachers, where we will engage with the teachers and then we work with them so they tell us the issues because they know far much better than us. So that we find out that we also get a lot from them. But also again, for the training for the women and for the community outreach, also we will also engage with the women more so that we know that if we do this training with them, they are able to carry it forward. So we make a waste. Those are important. Because with experience, one of the far end of Willingara group B with me and with the daughters of Africa, Famara. So we did training with women in stuff like 8, 9 years late. But then again, it's not sustainable. So when partners give them money, they're very happy and they share it. But when you give them resources, the resources will get spoiled, even if you give them the skill. So we later learn out that no, this is not the best way to work with these people. So how do we ensure that the resources that are coming is being utilized? Yeah, so I think this is kind of a little bit more of what we will actually be involved beyond today. Informations, dañoo indi pour gis ne project bi dem na through in both in the communities, tamit also si school si tamit, and also si ndaw yi tamit. So project bi yëpp dem na ñëw na lii la umba, like from day one to the final day is more of like the summary that I have given. Again, transparency and also to inform you that the project is 40,000 and that 40,000 becomes around 2 million, and that 2 million is being divided into so many areas. So it divided into production, it divided into training, it divided into food, it divided into establishing the hub. So you find out that it's a very small money with what we want to achieve. Our funders themselves, they even argue that. They said it's under what we wanted what we are looking at is around 60. So instead we got 40. So that's why they were questioning the training after almost approving everything. But again, we have to squeeze that because we have to know without the training, then we cannot do this. Because so those are some of the things. So that is why we ensure that we have to bring all the details and information to ensure. And again, everybody is aware. Sometimes I might present some things, but also your questions later on. I think MDA will have some questions and answering. I'm not sure whether it's now when I finish.
We call it not eco pain, not eco fight, not eco beg, but eco shine. Do you know that this generation is not done mourning the art because we have come to polish it? But I've looked around all over and I've seen plastics wearing the street like earrings they never paid for. I've seen the ozone giving us gifts. I've seen trees standing tall like elders providing shade to children who never knows their names. But no, we throw back wrappers on them. But with the inspiring youngsters, we make hay while the sun shines. That was an intro. Hello everyone. My name is Khadija, known as DJ Bok. So I'll be reciting a piece proper, and it is dedicated to every young girl who has ever dreamed of becoming that independent woman in future, and that woman who is still fighting for independence. A woman of might. Her beauty shines from within like a ray of hope. She is not defined by societal norms or expectations. She is defined by her own values, her own ambitions. But regardless of your words, I mean you, we're tired of hearing your words that the sky is the limit, when we all know that we can reach for the stars. But your actions are holding us back like graffiti, a force meant to be defied, and we will defy your disrespects, mistreatments, and misunderstandings. In fact, I will plow and punch my ways through your barriers to get the top of it. I may be a woman, yes, a female, but you can no longer define me. You know why? I mean, you know why? Because I I'm independent. I can endure the pain of my body being ripped up and up just to give birth, and all the pains is the crumbs I get in return. I can bleed for 4 days and 5 nights, and all I get so much is the crumbs. So a woman is a light. She dresses her truth free to be herself with no sorry or pose. Her body is hers, her choice is hers. Jigéen la bul ko toroxal ndax ku niw doole la, sutural ko ndax ku matul la, motali ko ndax matul, bu mu sëngem nañ ko sigil, sa warif la ndax du suñu coobere, lu ta baax buñ si jàpput, ndax njaboot ji ñu ngi lañ si yaakaar, ndax ñu jubuñ waaye mun nañoo jubanti, xel matul waaye mun nañoo motali xelaat. Respect her self-governance and respect her powers, because she is not just but only a woman. Thank you
for that wonderful piece, and I'm sure it has reflected on every one of us that are striving hard to become independent someday. So I would call on Kumba to also give a poem before we proceed to the center prize presentation.
I'm here to recite a poem entitled The Hands That Feed. And here it goes. Early morning, the sun is low. A farmer walks where seed will grow. Hands in earth, so strong and kind. Hope for harvest in his mind. He plants the rice, the corn, the grain. He prays for sun and again to rain. No tractor loud, no city noise, just quiet earth and simple joys. The season tall, the crops grow tall, green and gold across it all. He bends his back from dawn till night, working hard till fading light. Rain will fall and sun will shine. Fields will bloom in perfect land. From the soil, life begins, and in his heart, a quiet pride wins. For every meal upon our plate, we thank the farmer that never waits. The farmer feeds both near and far, like earth and sun and the morning star. Thank you all.
Piece. And I'll call on to Hadim to give a presentation about the STEM Prize.
For me to welcome you to the official launch of the EcoShine Project. My name is Hadim Juf, and I am the assistant lead of the technical arm of STEM Prize. So on behalf of STEM Prize, I will say thank you for joining us as we celebrate this important milestone. So basically, I would like to introduce what STEM Prize is, because as Mr. Alaji have just introduced about the EcoShine project and all that entails, it is also important to know which organization is running the activities. And then that organization, which is the backbone of all the activities that we are going to face through this project, is behind STEM Prize. So STEM Prize is basically a youth-led enterprise which is based at Olundo, and it is an initiative which promotes or tries to solve problems inside our society by demonstrating how science, innovation, sustainability, and technology would be used to bring solutions to these problems that we identify inside our society. So there are a lot of problems, lots of them. And then we cannot tackle all the problems head on, but then there's one thing we can do, that is to mitigate it, to reduce it. And then those problems that we have inside the society, some of them were just explained by Mr. CEO, and I will browse them again, problems that we are facing inside our society every day, and we are living by it. And then one of it is the excessive use of firewood and that of charcoal. So we have seen that this source of fuel is what we use to prepare our foods every day at home. And then most of the people that are engaged with these activities are women and children. But then with these activities at the same time, it has implication, it has risks attached to it. And then the risks involve health problems. One of the health problems that we identify is that it gives respiratory problems. We have observed it in many of our women and that of our girls. We can see it in school or inside the society at home. Most of them have respiratory disorders. And then one of the factors that is contributing to this is because of the excessive use of this firewood and charcoal. Now, Enterprise, as an initiative, comes up with solutions to say, okay, these are problems that we have inside our society, but there's something we can do. We can mitigate it. We cannot stop ourselves from using the charcoal, yes, but then let's come up with a solution. And then those solutions, I will introduce them to you later. There are no, or not many storage facilities. So farmers tend to lose lots of their farm products because they don't have the opportunity or the storage, the facilities to store these materials that could be later used in the air. So what they will do, those harvests that they have will either be destroyed or it will force the farmers to sell them at a price that is not favorable to them. So we identify this as a problem that is inside our society and it needs a solution. At the same time, we came up with a solution that will not solve it, but it will mitigate it. We also have realized that the scarcity of land and food inside our society, because Gambia is a very small country, and then we are not blessed or we are not lucky to have that huge land that can cater for everyone inside the country, right? So there's scarcity of food, which is the reason why we are importing lots of food from other countries into the nation. But then we also want to come up with a solution. What can we do to reduce this importation of food? And then the land that we are scarce of, what are other methods that we can use? Even if those lands are not available, what other methods can we use to be able to produce our own foods? Enterprise has thought over this, and then it is coming up with a solution. Another environmental issue that we realize is climate change, which is happening globally. Lack of rain, we've realized it, right? At the same time, the excessive heat that we experience from the globe, it is affecting everybody. And then it is a big issue that is not only for the Gambia, but for the whole world, which threatens human nature at large. So we say, okay, in what way are we going to participate or try to solve this issue? One or two things that we can do. What are those? So Enterprise also is working on this. At the same time, also, we have faced youth unemployment. Many youths are graduated. They don't have any place to work at. Right? We've experienced it. Those of us that graduated from grade 12, you know how life is. It becomes so hard. You have needs, you cannot solve them. You are not going to school, so you are not receiving any money from your parents. So it becomes hard. So the unemployment rate inside the country is large. But then Enterprise said, what can we do now to help our youths to be able to get jobs, even if they are not employed, but let them be involved in something, let them create something. So we train them on those areas. So these are the problems, some of the problems, many, but some of the problems that we face inside the society. And then at Enterprise, we are trying to come up with solutions. This is the solar oven that we've created. And then what is nice about this is that all the materials that we have in making this solar oven was local. So 80% of the materials that we have here were locally available. So the woods, the glasses, the nails, the paint, everything was already available in the Gambia. So there was no need for importing the solar oven, right? So we can make it in our own country. And why are we making solar oven? Why did we choose solar oven? Because this solar oven that we are seeing here can cook. It can cook. But then using what? Using sunlight alone. So we are using the solar now to replace it with the excessive use of charcoal and firewood. Like Mr. CEO just mentioned, sometimes even when you want to boil water, you have to buy charcoal in order to boil it. But with this oven, you don't need to. Just put the water inside a pot, put it inside the oven, leave it under the sun, and then it will boil it for you. It is efficient and it is clean. And the other thing that this solar oven has advantage over the firewood is that it is healthy, it is clean. There is no smoke emitted, and then it is not forming any harm to the climate. So this is why we came up with this solution, to say that this is going to be a very good solution to solve that problem of too much excessive use of the charcoal in our houses and that of the firewood, which is giving us health problems, at the same time also being very expensive, because daily the prices for these materials or fuels that we are using to cook in our houses are increasing. So it increases the household expenses. At the same time also it is risky, giving us health problems. So we don't want that. So, and this is a solution to mitigate it. Because the solar dryer that we are having here right now, it is enclosed. So what do we do? What we do here is that we design this dryer in a way that the materials or the food that is going to be dried in this dryer or facility will not be exposed. It has a fan and then it is covered. So it has a fan, the fan that blows in air, that increases the dryness as well as the heat that is hitting the plastic bag, as we are seeing. This is a plastic bag. So that increases the rate at which the products are being dried. But why is it different from just drying open in the air? When we dry open in the air, the food is being exposed to dust, germs, particles, everything is attached to the food. But then in this model now,
so we are grateful and then set the price at the same time also to the Canada Fund for Local Initiative for funding this project, because it's going to go a very long way for all of us, whether in our schools or in the community at large. So this was the presentation that I have to do, and thank you so much. We are hoping for
before you go to class, when you go to school, primary school, you must go and water your garden. Yes. You go to school before 8 o'clock. You read the school, then you water your garden. Each student or each class will be given at least 3 beds to take care of them. Okay? And at the end of the day, there is a school harvest. So where everybody goes it's a different story. But they make sure the students take part in that kind and give them good results. But now, with this, I think now there is transparency in schools. Before there was no transparency. Students will go and walk in the garden and then they will produce some vegetables. The school will sell them.
Schools, and my school being an inclusive school, I can say we are very lucky. What I am praying is that let the project be sustainable, as the previous speaker said, launching it and implementing the targets sometimes become easier, but sustaining it is always a challenge.
And today marks the official launch of this project. This project will encourage the students to not just involve themselves in this like leadership training or entertainment, but to create awareness in our school chapters and our societies. And I encourage all of the members to kindly fully participate in the development of our society. So with this, inshallah, if you all come together and collaborate, you work together, the project will surely be successful. Thank you.
By inspiring youngsters as well. It is a very good initiative. And I'm honestly impressed with the fact that there is a lot of creativity and innovation. And as students, I believe we will take this as we will grab this opportunity because it is not always available. And then I also want to thank each and every one of you. I as well want to thank the inspiring youngsters for bringing up this project. It is a very, very good project.
Current president of Masuk Senior Secondary School, IYS sector. And I am very, very happy, and not only happy, but also very well motivated with whatsoever that happens in India. As students, as people that are learning, every now and then, but at community level as well. You see that there are so many people in the Gambia here. Most of the things that we cry for is the unemployment. And I believe this is also going to be, it's going to serve as a source of employment as well to the youth of the communities and also the Gambian people as well. Without wasting much time to say so many things, I will just say thank you to the inspiring youngsters.
We are very happy to be here. We are delighted to know you here today. This project, we as Chalgerians, we are much oriented when it comes to agriculture. And this project is going to do a lot for us, and we are going to we are going to fully utilize it, because when it comes to child, we are very much oriented with agriculture.
Just for the of course, my fellow members. I am Mohammed Lai from the IYS chapter. I was just asked just values, which is integrity. What you have to be able to give to people. Let people be cooperated together to achieve common goals, and then we are faced with this. So we promise that we will show our dedicated towards this project, and we are very grateful. Thank you, Lord.
Chapter. On behalf of the Farming IYS chapter, I thank the inspiring youngsters for giving us this opportunity to attend this luncheon. Despite being far from Congo, we were given this opportunity to attend this luncheon, and we are very excited to attend it. All thanks to the inspiring youngsters. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to our development partners, government institutions, partner schools, community leaders, the media, and all stakeholders for your presence, support, and commitment to this initiative. We also thank the leadership and members of the Inspiring Youngsters for their hard work and dedication in making today's event success. Your participation makes the beginning of a strong partnership, and we look forward to working together to empower young people, promote clean energy, and build a more sustainable future for our communities. Together, we can inspire young people to promote clean energy, protect our environment, and build a more sustainable future for the Gambia. Thank you once again for being with us today, and we wish you all a safe travel home, and God bless you all.